Welcome, everybody, to the Charlie Broke Show, episode 1, but it might be episode 78. We'll see what it looks like, if the IRSC code likes me or not. How, from the beginning, we'll have to start. Yeah, get that off of the table. Oh, jeez. Jeez. Or hide it behind the thing. It doesn't matter. Welcome to the show. It is me, your host, Charlie Broke, who is a... the same person as Kate Alvarez from the Tipped and Stiff podcast. Charlie Broke is my stage name, and that's what we'll be going forward through. What will we be going forward with? I can't speak. My first time ever doing this. From now on, it is the new year, new me. Let's say it's the year 2023. It is the first week of January that this is being recorded. I think it's the 4th today. I think this will be out on Friday. So we're hitting the ground running. I want to get it back out there, back in the action. I want to get back into, people knowing who I am at random corner bars in my hometown and ultimately making things a little uncomfortable. But that's okay. You can come talk to me. I'm not famous, nor am I, predicating that by any degree. I'm just saying it was weird when it did happen. But thank you. We have a new animation, a new little intro, little thing. But yes, my name is Charlie Broke. Before we go any further, I'd like to introduce my new producer here, Young Davey. He will be joining us on the episodes here on out, adding a little likeness to it. He'll be helping me look up stuff when needed, and he will chime in at some points. But we do have a counter for him, just in case he gets a little antsy with the talking. But that's okay. But here we are now. Let's get into it. I saw a person get hit by a car yesterday. Isn't that crazy? I mean, that's once in a lifetime. Like, in front of me. Like, it happened in front. Okay, this sounds bad. But they weren't hurt. I mean, they were probably hurt, but, like, not flight for life. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't an emergency room visit or anything like that. It was a little tap. Not really. I mean, they flew back a little bit. But hold on. Let me preface this. I was sitting at the intersection. I think I was on Oakland in Milwaukee. And a guy was crossing the street, and a van turned to, left. So 10 miles per hour max. Stopped at a stoplight. Accelerating from a stoplight. A working vehicle. A van with 5 people in it. They were painters with paint. Can't go that fast. 10 miles per hour max. Hit the guy. Boom. He hits the ground. Gets up immediately, right? The guy tries to wave him off, but I'm sitting there astounded. And I immediately make a phone call. Because I'm like, I just saw someone get hit by a car. Because, all right, I don't know what it says about me. But it felt like I accomplished something. Is that weird to say? Is it weird to feel like that? I felt like I saw something magic happen to me. Because, especially when he got back up. Because, I don't want anybody, like, legitimately hurt. But I saw that happen. And I got a little tingly because I was like, wow, that will probably never happen again. Or if it does happen again, it will probably take another 22 years to happen. I think that's more than fair to say. You only get, I think there's people on this planet who have never seen anybody hit by a car before. And I popped my cherry of people getting hit by a car yesterday, Tuesday, January 3rd. Is the day that Charlie Broke saw someone hit by a car. I'm sorry, we're starting off with such a weird topic, but I don't really give a fuck. Here's the thing. I was watching the new Andrew Callahan documentary on HBO. Please go watch that. It's like a movie documentary thing, and people don't know who Andrew Callahan is. He's the guy who from the Channel 5 News. He started off making those Instagram videos where he was like running around at 2 a.m. asking people their deepest, darkest secrets, and they would talk about how they like fuck their uncle and stuff like that. It doesn't matter. But he lives in a trailer. No, not a trailer. He lives in a mobile home. Does that have more dignity than a trailer? It doesn't matter. But he rides around a mobile home filming people. A lot of the movie's about 2020. And, of course, a lot of interesting things happened in 2020 and 2019. And pretty much going to the places of protest with Trump, all these sort of goodies that were happening around then. But it was a really interesting video because he's... here's the thing. He's going around and interviewing people about... the Trump presidency, he's talking about QAnon. He's, talking about people he's talking to Antifa. We haven't heard that one in a while because we're not in an election cycle. Now, see, when the election picks back up and if Donald Trump's running again, we will be back in the mess, therefore out. But the thing is, it's interesting to watch all these people who have no idea what day it is. I mean, and so many people are so close to something real, but they're so far away. For instance, there's one part where we're watching this family. Andrew's at this house, and there's a family, and they're homeschooling the kids because they don't want the kids to wear masks. The kids are doing research on their own about the pedophile cabal in the United States made of the ultra-rich and politicians, and how Trump is going to stop them all. And, they miss their friends. These kids are saying, we miss our friends. We miss going to school. But we understand because they're going to make us wear masks 24/7, so we can't go there because our freedoms are taken away. Mind you, these kids are in elementary school, so that's good. These people are real winners, So, like, they're reading a website, and, like, the words are spelt wrong on the website. Like, it's in that text. It's in that Comic Sans font. Everything's misspelt. It's like a pink background, and then they have a picture of Hillary Clinton and accusing her of like eating children. So really, they're academics, is what I should be saying. It's like a Google academic form. But sadly, these kids are being like indoctrinated in this. They miss their friends. They have no idea what's happening. They have no idea what's going on by any degree. They don't have, they're barely conscious. Were you really that conscious in elementary school? No, you weren't. So let me get this straight. If you're in 4th grade and you're still talking like you're still talking like this, you're still kind of doing you know what I'm saying? You're still talking like this, and you're kind of going like, well, I like to go to school and drink my chocolate milk, and also Hillary Clinton is a pedophile. Like you couldn't, what? Like. It's just crazy, and it's so sad. Like he's going around to all these people. He's talking to all these people. Oh, this has been talked about, but it doesn't matter because it's interesting, especially as the election cycle will absolutely be back. They're trying to decide on who the Speaker of the House is. The Republicans are split in half between the Mitch McConnell Republicans and the Donald Trump Republicans, and they don't know who's going to be the Speaker of the House. And this documentary is important because we're right back in are we going to let the lunatics win? But then you ask yourself, who are the lunatics? And then you ask yourself, well, if I don't choose a lunatic, am I even winning at the end of the day? And the answer is no, you lose either way. You don't really get what you want because everyone's in on it, right? That's what's strange about this. These people are upset about a system, specifically, like, think about it. You have all these white families, they're indoctrinating their kids. They've been indoctrinated. They have enough money to go to Washington, D.C. and show up on January 6th. And then you have real neighborhoods that are in poverty, and there's people fighting for their life. So it's really strange. How do you build that bridge between the two? How do you actually figure out what's going on? I don't know. It would seem that Rachel Maddow is not doing a good job at building the bridge. It would seem that Tucker Carlson isn't doing a good job at building the bridge. Maybe because they don't want to, and maybe they don't care to, and maybe that's not their job. Did we think about that? We did, because clearly this documentary is talking about how the media has pit a lot of each other against us and will continue to do so with the 24-hour news cycle of violence. But here's the thing. We have to ask ourselves, there is clearly a lot of people out there who are Republican who are impoverished. They aren't doing well for themselves. They're angry. They don't know what to blame their problems on. They don't feel a sense of unity. They feel lost. They need something to look up to. And Donald Trump was the greatest salesperson in America of all time. You can hate Donald Trump all you want, but he was the greatest American salesman ever. He's probably still is. If he wins presidency again, that is a torch that no one can take from him, that he's the greatest salesman ever. And to make this, I like iconography about him, and make himself such a poor man's rich man. When people look at Donald Trump, he's the poor man's idea of a rich man, right? The big buildings with your name on it, everything's in gold. You fuck a porn star, you run for president, you say naughty things, right? It's a poor man's rich man. So the thing is that it's hard watching the documentary because you can't help but feel bad for a lot of people. There's a lot of people who are so close to a real revelation. There's so many people who are really close to something important. Example, they're talking about how unfair the economy is, right? People want to put food on their table, right? You have men, really still paying attention to the whole man emancipation, this masculine emancipation coming right now. Tim Dillon made a great point about how, it's not men putting on skirts that are making this country less masculine. It's people not being able to afford their medical bills. It's people not being able to have jobs. It's people not being able to put food on their tables. It's people who feel like they're not being paid enough, and they're not. Right? There's a lot of people who refuse to work for a business because they feel like they're not being paid enough. Well, it turns out that even if they get the wage that they think is fair, it's still not what it is. Right? What I'm trying to say is that the Democratic Party was painted as this huge socialist, communist, crazy party, and it clearly isn't. It is still a bunch of very normal liberals that don't do much. They're still very capitalist. They only kind of care about changing the system a little bit. There's a few select Democrats that are a little more radical, if that's the appropriate word. But on the Republican side, you have about half of them losing their mind about white Christianity in this country. And they're about 10 steps away, about 2 notches, 1 notch, really 2 glasses of wine from talking about, how the white people are being replaced in the shapes of skulls. But I'm not. They're saying that. They might not say it on TV. It's one of those things where they probably only say it in closed doors. You know what I mean? I imagine the parties that Republicans maybe had is one of those you're like, the neighborhood's changing lately, and they're like, doesn't matter. But all I'm saying is that people are hurting. They're gonna hurt more as this recession comes up, and the recession coming is great timing for another lunatic, whether it's Donald Trump or somebody else, because people are going to feel like they have nothing even more. And when more people feel like they have nothing, they feel like they have even less to lose, which makes them do even dumber stuff. So we will see how that goes. Last time, you had a pandemic that was keeping people inside. Not this time. So let's see how well this goes. I'm excited. Are you excited? Yes. I'm ecstatic. It's going to be great for the podcast. We're going to have stuff to talk about every week. We'll be able to do so much man on the mic stuff. There will be people breaking down in the street by 2024. Just screaming at buildings. When you're in Chicago, every block in the loop is pretty much people screaming at buildings, but soon it's going to be like even in the suburbs, just people going outside. They're going to be taking the trash on the way there. They're going to be like, yeah! Yeah! Just wailing, like dying, as they take the trash can out as another mortgage bill with the last notice. Stamp on it happens. Just screaming with a Tesla that they'll pay off in 30 years. Andrew Tate got arrested and then released. Most people know who Andrew Tate is. If you don't know who Andrew Tate is one of those guys who talks about how women should be back in the kitchen and blames women for being raped. A lot of masculine, dumb stuff. Andrew Tate's not smart. I don't know. It's a lot of wackadoo stuff. Male emancipation is very strange to me because a lot of times I think men are a little too free. You know, I've heard a lot of men do a lot of things that they've gotten away with. I think someone should maybe tighten the leash a little bit on men, not emancipate them. But you know, it's like Andrew Tate. You know, he talks about like women being in the kitchen and stuff like that. And I have a friend who's a teacher and talks about how kids in her middle school class talk about Andrew Tate, and they just say like horrible things in class about women. And this person is a woman, as you imagine. It's a little difficult to like. Well, here's the thing about that. You know, how do you you're teaching a middle school class about, you're finally getting into like, you know, what books did you read in middle school? Whatever. You're reading books and you're like, you have to teach about Andrew Tate. It doesn't matter. But I'm just saying. He got arrested. But here's what he got arrested for. He got arrested for sex trafficking. That's a big one. He got arrested for sex trafficking. Specifically for a porn site where he was kind of facilitating women to be assaulted and recorded in porn. Very bad stuff. I got to be honest with you. Davey, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Do you know how many friends I have? Not many. I have a decent amount. But you know how many friends I have or people I know that have been even hinted at being sex traffickers? 0. I have 0. But you know how many I do that are gay? A decent amount. I thought the craziest thing about Andrew Tate was that he was going to be gay, not that he was going to be a sex trafficker. And what's sad is that the response to Andrew Tate being a sex trafficker has been better than what it would have been if he was gay. If a guy like Andrew Tate says to me, I think women should be back in the kitchen, I go, you like sucking dick. It's not a big deal. Like I would immediately think there was a time and a place when they were younger where they found their friend attractive and they've never recovered since. There was one time. That's just all I feel about that. I just feel like every male emancipationist is probably gay. I don't know. Maybe it's a projection. I have no clue. I'm fine with being a little fruity. I don't think it's a problem. But the thing is that sex trafficking's bad. And
yeah.
The fact that he got released and then immediately like hung out with like a bunch of women at like a club was like somebody did not give them the news. And it's like, how do you get released out of sex trafficking charges? He was gone. What was it? 2 days? It was like 2 or 3 days. Please. It's just crazy to me. I thought he was going to be gay. Not a fucking... Here's the thing about that. When you get into like sex trafficking, you know, I think it's fishy that he got released so soon. I'm sure there's like an explanation to why, but I think if you're in sex trafficking, you probably have a lot more power over things than you know. There's probably weird blackmail things going on. Who are you sex trafficking to? Like, you're probably not... If you're in sex trafficking, are you really just sex trafficking to just a porn site? Like, you got to have clients, right? It's just very interesting to me. Andrew Tate's a rich man. I don't think he's an Epstein. I don't think he's that good at his job. He wouldn't have been caught this early in the game. There's not going to be an Andrew Tate documentary on why he's a sex trafficker. There'll be an Andrew Tate documentary on why he's an idiot. But there won't be one on why he's a sex trafficker. What do you find? You find anything?
A lot of it says 30 days, but I was told that he was already released. So,
not long enough. Not long enough. I imagine he's a flight risk. It's not like he doesn't have money.
Yeah,
it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Just wow. They got him because of a pizza box, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he was responding to Greta Thunberg or something.
Yep.
At least Greta has done something good for the world. That's good. You almost got him. You helped us out a little bit. We haven't heard from Greta in a while. I hope she's doing well. I wish her well. But yeah, Andrew Tate arrested. Who gives a fuck? I don't understand why anyone puts any energy into a man who, you know, is like balding and like he looks ugly and he does like those weird like I don't understand how we broke through the level of like, do you want to make this much money a month? Here's how. If you subscribe to my classroom for 30 days, we can get you from $1,000 a fucking every 1 year to $30 million, and then it's just like $500 to get like the intro package.
yeah.
I don't know how he didn't just remain that. To think if you're doing that, if you're selling like how to be an entrepreneur packages, all you have to do is be like, I think women are gross and stinky, and then get a bunch of men that go, I agree. Like, that's it. That's all he did. That's all he did. He's a net negative to the world. He's not like, we don't just shoot him. I don't do that. I didn't say that. I'm not wishing that upon him. But if he was dead, I mean, so long, sailor.
yeah.
Fuck. I was at a bar the other day, and I had someone tell me, this is kind of connected. I'm starting out this podcast. I talked about the Andrew Callahan thing and the Andrew Tate thing because they both have something in common, and that is pedophiles. Sex trafficking, I mean, but but I had someone tell me the other day that they could track every conspiracy theory to anti-Semitism, and I thought that was such a crazy thing to say. That's a crazy thing to say. Every single conspiracy. Imagine if Bigfoot led back to the Torah. That'd be crazy. That'd be wild. That'd be crazy. I disagree. I disagree, Gary. I disagree. But I wanted to get into that. I on this show, we used to talk about conspiracy theories a lot. I think conspiracy theories are good. The problem is that we had such a bad run of conspiracy theories, specifically with QAnon and some of the Pizzagate stuff, and Sandy Hook, where people were showing up to houses and real life problems were happening. People were dying, right? Which is bad. We can't have that with conspiracy theories, right? The thing is, there is a clear line in conspiracy theories where you go, this is probably this is probably the truth, facts. This is probably the facts, and this is Crazy Town. I think QAnon was a lot of in Crazy Town. The thing is that if you think that Donald Trump was a savior, you're out of your mind. But if you think Joe Biden is a savior, you're also out of your mind. There is no saviors. If they're in the United States government, they're probably not good. They probably have done some wackadoo things, and they're probably not thinking about your family when they sign, the bills, right? But when it came to, the thing is that, where do I start with this? PC culture is, for the most part, a net positive, but PC culture can be used negatively. This is something that's misunderstood, I think, in colleges, mostly because no one's really thinking about any of this, but why would they? Let's say I'm Italian. I'm not Italian, but let's say I'm Italian, and we're in a completely fictional world here. And I'm Italian, I'm in Italy, and I want to invade Switzerland. And let's say I invade Switzerland, and over the years you have people in the Swiss who are really mad that the Italians have invaded Switzerland, and they're mad, and they're speaking out against the Italian government. They're like, why would you do that? You guys are a bunch of pieces of shit, and I'm the ruler of Italy. Let's say this is like a kingdom, this is a monarchy. So I come with the term with like Italian, anti-Italianism, whatever, or Italian Mediterranean phobia. I don't know. Something. Anti-Mediterraneanism. That would work. Right. And I use it as a weapon to silence people who are criticizing the government. Right? Because I don't want them talking out against my invasion of Switzerland, because I want to keep invading. So that's one sense we're PC culture where I could use it as where Italians have been victimized and hated upon in America and across Europe. And just because we are an expanding empire, you speak down against us after everything we have faced, after all the trials and tribulations we've been through. To silence the Swiss. We're using that as a sense to keep them quiet. It's very important to realize that, because other countries are doing this. China's done it. We do it. Countries do it. They use, if you talk out against X government, you go away, especially like in Russia, right? The thing is that I think it's very strange that like anti-Semitism is like the green button a lot of time for that, and I don't know why. Genuinely, because so many conspiracy theories don't lead back to anything that has to do with Jewish people. The problem is that when you talk about like the 1%, there's like another guy in the back a room of 100 people who goes like, "You're right, the Jews." Like, I know you're talking about the 1%, and they're like, "No, I'm talking about people with a lot of money." That the Jews. Like, it's just like, no, it's not. That's not what we're talking about, right? And then you have a lot of like. You have, I think it didn't help with like Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell both being Jewish, right? Whether they were practicing Jewish people, who gives a fuck? They were sex traffickers. I don't care whether, Jeffrey Epstein always made sure to wear his yarmulke. I care that he was sex trafficking people. Like, that's the part that's important in the story, not any other parts. So I get it. There's people who do take things to an anti-Semitic place. But to use, like, you're saying that because you hate X people, or you're saying that because you don't like X religion, or whatever, is not helpful to actually solving problems. For example, a topic where you can get called anti-Semitic all the time is putting judgment on the state of Israel, especially with the treatment of Palestinians. You can get called anti-Semitic really quickly for doing that. It's happened to me. And it's silly because I'm not talking about Judaism. I'm not, the problem is that it's linked with, I can't remember the term. It's like a Judaic nationalism, and I can't remember what it is right now. You're like, well, this is the, for Jewish people, they're like, this is, or other people will defend Jewish people on their behalf. It's never a Jewish person, right? And it's always on the behalf. They're like, well, why? How can you say this? This is a holy place, blah, blah, blah. This is their land, right? The Palestinians aren't a real government system. Crazy things like that. You're right. To justify, killing a people, that's not helpful for the conversation, right? When you're talking about the heinous acts that a country may commit, it's not good at talking about, well, you're just hating on the people. It's like, no, I'm actually hating on the government. I'm hating on anyone who's picked up a gun and shot someone innocently. I'm hating on anyone who's pressed the button to, launch missiles over a wall and to kill a bunch of innocent people. I'm judging them. I'm not judging the person who works for for McDonald's in Israel who happens to be Jewish. I'm not judging them because you know what? They're just living. I don't expect anyone to just leave their country. Could you imagine? It's like you don't like America? Why don't you get out of here? Like, no, I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb. I'm an academic. But it was crazy to me. I felt so dumbfounded. I almost got in an argument. We were at trivia too. I'm putting if this person listens to this, they know I'm talking about them. And good. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. I hope you're listening. Because what you said was dumb. You should say smart things from now on. What a mid-ass thing to say. I don't like people who aren't interesting, man. I don't like people who don't get into a bunch of crazy stuff. I like people with problems, right? Anyone who says they can trace every conspiracy back to anti-Semitism, they probably don't have good conversations. They probably don't. I got to be honest. Davey, they don't have good conversations. They're boring, actually. They're mid. They're unbelievably mid. They're remarkably mid. I hate remarkably mid people. All right? Remarkably mid people are people you'll meet like 3 times in a row, and they won't you'll meet them in a group setting 3 or 4 times, and they won't engage with you like you're in the group. Remarkably mid behavior. People like who claim they'll buy you a drink, but then the moment that you go to ask them to buy you that drink, they already closed their tab. Wow. Amazing. People who you can smell from across the room, but they smell good. But you're like, why can't I smell you right now? Remarkably mid. It's crazy. I don't know. I want to do stand-up with the new year. I made a bunch of New Year's resolutions. I'm getting fat. It's probably because we drink way too much. I've been drinking too many IPAs. Putting on the pounds. That's okay. Who would have thought that drinking every single night was a net negative for your health? I would have no clue. I'm going to be a wine and seltzer mom from now on. White wine or red wine? Is it better? Is it better for you?
No.
Red wine.
My mic was off. Red's
wine?
better for you, yeah.
Get some Liberty Creek. I love a good $8 wine. I love a good $8 wine. I love a good wine that I can drink and not feel bad about buying. We got to get one of those. Oh, we got to get the wine things where they go on the top. When they go on the top, say after you pop it, and put it back in. My New Year's resolutions, get this podcast back rolling. I don't care what you think about this episode. It's episode 1 of a new age, new era. I'm going to give it the swing of it. I'm a funny guy. I'm not funny right now, but I don't know what I want to be. I wanted to talk about conspiracy theories and the presidency and Andrew Tate and how I saw someone get hit by a car. Maybe Andrew Tate could get hit by a car. Maybe he will. I have no ties to any of that if that does happen. I don't know, though. Live in a new city. Trying to find a job. It's hard to find a job these days. For whatever reason. Everyone talks about how no one wants to work. I'm trying to work and no one wants to hire me. And I'm a pretty hireable person, actually. I'm not hireable. Please hire me. If anyone knows any good jobs, please send them my way. I'll work there. I'll work there for you. I'm a good boy. But I live in Milwaukee now. I moved from my hometown, Kenosha. We're recording this in an undisclosed location in Milwaukee with a new setup, as you can tell. People who are watching the YouTube video and not just listening in their cars or listening to this when I actually don't care how you consume this, but the people who are watching, we have a new setup. We got lights, and it's really pretty, and I don't know. We broke both of these little things that we got. I don't know what are these called. Cherubs. They're both broken. I'm going to have to order new ones. There'll be more things that get on this table as time goes on. Oh, where'd the lighter go? Oh, the lighter's gone. Yeah. That's too bad. The city smells like kitty litter a lot, which is weird. Do you notice that? Every time you go over the Hohen Bridge, it smells like cat litter. It's really weird. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming there's a cat litter factory right there. I don't want to smell it. I've seen 2 people publicly piss in front of me since I got in here. I've seen 3 people get arrested. I've seen someone hit by a car. I've seen so many boarded up windows, bars over windows, gunshots, violence, whatever you really want it to be. That's what I love about cities. They're whatever you want them to be. You want them to be scary? You can make it scary. You want it to be nice and peaceful? You can find a way. There's a way to make it nice and peaceful. But that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We live in a good spot. I'm happy. Can I be happy? Are you happy for me? All I really want is to enjoy my life and make money. Make money doing a podcast. I need to get funnier. I'd like to go do a comedy set. That's my New Year's resolution. I want to go do a comedy set and work on my craft for you guys, for everyone listening, so I can be funnier and have guests on and make them laugh, and everyone can laugh and then get in trouble for saying things we're not supposed to and get kicked out of a community that may or may not was going to invite us in the first place. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What time is it? How long have we been going for?
32.
That's crazy. Well, a little over that. But yeah, I got to fill another 20 minutes.
You can riff on this for a little bit. It says the average police response time in Milwaukee is 18 and a half minutes.
It's because they're all huge. They're all fucking huge. They got to waddle to the car before they can get to the on-site, let alone turn the keys. That's how they sound like making it into the car. That's what it's like. Like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in Ghostbusters. Remember that scene? You know, look up the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That shit's hilarious. Cops here are terrible. They don't do their job. Yeah. Or the Michelin Man, whatever large masculine character you could think of. I don't think it's bad calling cops fat or pigs. I don't think it's really bad. I don't think it's bad calling cops anything. I think you should call them more things. You should get worse. Call them slurs. Slurs that don't even mean anything to them. Italian ones for all I care. Who knows? Just, what?
The average response time in the U.S. is just under 5 minutes.
And ours is what?
18 and a half minutes.
18 minutes. They had to make a stop. They're doing DoorDash in between to make ends meet. That's why. Unit 49, can you make it to the blah, 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 blah? Yeah, we got to pick up at Dunkin' Donuts before we can make it there. It's about cross town. We'll be there in at 25.
That's crazy.
18 minutes, baby. That's why you're bleeding out.
Like, don't even call them.
Dude, they get caught. Why? Yeah, why even call them? You imagine putting a noise complaint in. Like, yeah, we'll be right on that. Yeah. 2 hours go by. Yeah. They're like, man, where's the noise complaint? Next door. They're like, where? Well, they're not making any noise. It's 5 a.m. They all went to bed. They're all asleep now. Dude, I think I look at the Facebook, like the police scanner. All it is them posting videos of like of police chasings that involve shooting, like every single time. Yeah. Like, this is a violent city. Yeah. It's a violent city. Fuck, I'm falling off my seat, or I should say my saddle's falling off my seat. It's a violent city. If you go to the real parts of Milwaukee, you go, times are bad. This city's in a recession no matter what year it is. Everyone wants to do good things. I could tell you. I'll tell you what you could do. You should just give away all your money. There's people who need to way. I've been doing DoorDash. I've been seeing a lot more interesting neighborhoods. Rough neighborhoods. I had a lady the other day. I go to her house. I gave her food. She tipped me well, and I appreciate that. She goes, God bless, Happy New Year, and be safe on these streets. And I said, you got it, ma'am. And it was nice. It was a really nice thing that she said to me. But it's like, I opened my door to my car to deliver it, and I smelled fire. And there was there was fire. There was sirens. There was a building burning down somewhere. It's crazy. It's like you go on the north side of Milwaukee, and like everyone. All right, when people talk about that, it's crazy to drive in a city, right? And they're like in the, let's say Chicago in the Loop. They're in Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. You're in the main downtown section. Yeah, that part's annoying. But that part's annoying for people who are like suburban. They're from smaller towns, right? If you go to the bad neighborhoods in Milwaukee, all right, it's like a Mario Kart 150cc track out there. That's what it's like. You know, I'm trying to DoorDash. I'm like, Jesus Christ. It's Dale Earnhardt out here. I'm like swerving in and out of traffic. Dude, you got to blow intersections just because that's the rules. You didn't even know. You have to take another driving course to drive in the bad neighborhoods in Milwaukee. You didn't even know. There's just secret rules you didn't know about. Stop signs or suggestions. Intersections are made to be ran. You know what I mean? There's actually a window of about 10 seconds after every red light where even though it's red, it's still green. But that's what it feels like. But it's fun though. I mean, yeah, you know, you go into DoorDash, and you know, some of the buildings you go into, their windows are boarded up because they've had bullets thrown through them. You have people getting into altercations outside. You're a little scared. You have a little bit of diarrhea. Well, like, you know, from the anxiety, not just because you have diarrhea, but you know what I mean. Can you stop playing with whatever you're playing with them?
My foot keeps touching it. But it's worth the $5 tip.
Most of the time, it's no dollar tip. I think DoorDash has to do the plus $3 for this route because no one wants to tip anyone anymore. Yeah. God bless. God bless.
Riff on that for a little bit. Tipping culture is
stupid.
Fucked now.
They should just pay me. It is bad. It is bad. I don't even know what to tip people anymore. I get scared. Yeah. I get scared. I don't know. Like they're like, I was at Chiba Hut the other day and I ordered a sandwich and the guy turned around. He's like, and it has the little tip thing. I'm like, you didn't do, like, you get paid here.
Right. Right.
What, You're going to split my 15% tip on a $9 order? That's cents we're talking about. We're talking about cents. Were you guys all going to split up $1 at the end of the night? It can't be that much. It can't be that much money. I like to tip bartenders, waitresses, and anyone selling merch. That's the people I like to tip. That's about it. And maybe an Uber driver. Uber drivers deserve tips.
Yeah.
Them too. People doing delivery, they deserve tips, right? Your pizza delivery, right? Don't go, oh, he's a pizza delivery driver. Is he really working that hard? Yes, he is. They are. Yeah. They are. I get it. It sucks because I got an order for this woman. I had a delivery in a neighborhood. I had to go to Shake Shack. She didn't tip me. The DoorDash was $2.50. That's how much money they gave me. That's only DoorDash pay, right? I give it to her. The neighborhood I'm in, it looks like a fucking bomb went off. It looks like a war zone. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to paint a picture of that a woman was ordering DoorDash and living in a neighborhood that looked like it had been torn apart, right? But in that moment, I was mad, and I drove away, and I was like, I fucking get it. I get it. Yep. That Shake Shack is like the nail that divides between like loading a gun. It is. Because if your life is shit, it's the little things that start making my life worth it, right? It's your family, right? It's the small moments. It's getting Shake Shack at a time where you can't get Shake Shack, all right? I'm broke right now. I bought a $40 vape yesterday. I was always going to. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's been times in your life where you're like, I have no money. I'm gonna go to the bar.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to the bar. You know why? That's the difference. That's the difference between a gauge next to your head. That's the difference, and we know that. A 32, a 9mm, a 12 gauge, 5.56, 7.62, whatever works. Whatever works, whatever you need, baby. That Shake Shack's the difference. I'm not going to judge anybody. Of course, I would have loved the tip, but I got paid, and she knew that. She knew I got paid. It was my first DoorDash, the first one I ever done. $2.50 on the board. Count them. You know what that'll get me? Nothing. I don't buy gum. I'm not a child. There's nothing I buy that's $2.50. I don't know a single thing I buy that's $2.50. Maybe adding on a drink at McDonald's. That doesn't really count, though. That doesn't count. You're still spending $13 in total. I'm just saying, it's not much. It didn't even pay for the gas. It didn't pay for the gas. But guess what? Some people need it. I get it. Because it's just the little things sometimes, your vape, alcohol, drugs, going to the bar, doing something fun. You're like, you hit yourself with the, I need this. And to be honest with you, most of the time you do. You're not lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Most people aren't lying when they say, I need this. Because if you look at their life, you go, yeah, you do. Yes. You're about $12,000 in credit card debt, $50,000 in school loans. You have $25,000 left on your car payment. It's a $400 bill a month. You're neck deep in bills. And you have really, in reality, you're like, I have enough in savings. I have some fun money to spend. No, you don't. You only got nothing. You have no money to spend. Your net worth is in the negatives. You were owned by a bank. You're owned by a bank and a credit card company. You just don't realize it yet. You don't think that $1,000 that you have in your bank account, just because you're going to make rent, doesn't mean you got money. It does not mean you have money. I have fun money to spend. No, you don't. You got $80,000 in the hole. That's what you got. I have some fun money to spend. I'm going to go get a game for the Switch, for the Nintendo Switch. I'm going to go get some sangria. I'm going to go to the bar with the gals. I'm going to go put my nice shoes on. I'm just saying. They're talking about us getting into a recession. We're in it. The same person who said the anti-Semitism thing was like, well, we're preparing for a recession. I'm like, look around. Everyone in this bar has scars on their face. Looks like the bubonic plague everywhere you go. It looks like there's a plague. Who broke that? Look at the little brrring thing for the door broke. Or was it always like that? I
Maybe
can't
it broke
tell.
when the door broke.
Who did that? I know who did it.
Wasn't
I know it wasn't you. I know who did it, though.
was it?
Yeah, our friend.
Okay.
Did you hit him like a big behemoth busting through the door at 3 a.m. drunk out of his mind? I wonder if he can hear us.
Yeah, probably.
I hope he knows we love him. But I do think it was him who broke the door. What do we have for time?
We're at 4:30. It seems like we're dragging a bit, huh?
Dude, it's crazy. I feel like I've been through so much stuff.
Yeah, for real.
I feel like
man.
my life. I've been through so much. I went through so much. My sister had our winter like little singing bullshit thing.
Yeah.
You know, you got to do it for the kids.
Yeah.
They sang a Hanukkah song, and I'm fine with that. But I asked her when she got in the car how many Jewish people she knows. She didn't know any, which I felt was very disrespectful. Go up there singing Hanukkah songs.
They do a Kwanzaa song?
They did do a Kwanzaa song. I got to be honest. I don't know a single person who knows a person who celebrates Kwanzaa.
I'm pretty sure it's fake.
If you told me it was, I wouldn't. I'd be like, probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know that Hanukkah's real. I know people who celebrate Hanukkah. I'm not confused by that, but my little sister doesn't. That is just weird. It's at a school that definitely doesn't have any Jewish people in it. I get why they have to, because it's the whole, religious freedom thing. They only played their hits. They didn't even jam. Fucking 12 Days of Christmas is the worst Christmas song ever made.
Yeah.
So horrible. And then listen to kids do it. My mom's like, they're going to do a little dance to it. Like, who gives a fuck? It's a horrible song. They're like doing the, they're like moving their hands out on the goose part. They like flap their wings, their hands, whatever. What it would be to be back in elementary school. I was a tyrant in elementary school. I wasn't allowed to go to any of the assembly halls because I was too noisy. I was loud. I would yell. I would scream. I didn't like anyone around me. I think it's because I was probably undiagnosed with autism, and not in a facetious way or like a funny way. I think that is the case, and I think they were just like, he's a little different. And that was it. That was the end of that story. They're like, you get to sit in this room with the teacher assistant while the rest of the kids go have fun. I'd be like, okay. Can I play on the computer? They'd be like, yes. I'd be like, okay. And I would just be happy. I'd sit there playing that fucking like MS Paint game or whatever with the penguin. I don't know if that's like a local thing or not. School was never good. School's bad. School in the United States is ass. It's not fun. I didn't enjoy it. Did you enjoy high school?
My senior year was entirely on e-school, so.
Right. Mine too. Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
Elementary was bad. When people try to talk about how, like, I used to love so-and-so teacher, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, fuck you. Every single time. Because here's the thing. If you had a teacher that loved you, it meant that another kid was paying the price for as much as they hated them. That's how that goes. It is not an even ground. If a teacher shows love to one student, everyone's like, either there's a problem there that's about 2 text messages away from being a felony, or they're taking out their bullshit on another kid on the other side, right? It's a balance. It swings. It's a pendulum. Love on one side, hate on the other. One kid gets the extra sucker, the other kid gets the belt, all right? That's how it goes. That's the rules. I don't make them up. I feel like you agree with me. It's true. Your microphone is off.
Well,
you can keep it on.
I just don't want to be like breathing in the bitch. No, yeah. I feel like the only reason that teachers have like a favorite student is because they like the student because that student makes their day not so shitty when they have to deal with
the one they hate.
The one they hate. Yeah.
Right. It's give and take. Especially, it's always confusing when the teacher has like a gang of them, like a gang of like kids.
Yeah. That just like stay in that classroom
during
like,
lunch,
all the
like
time
you
and,
weirdos.
Yeah.
Go to school. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, they're like an adult that I can talk to. That's supposed to be your parents. All right, you can't talk to your parents. I get it. All right. I miswalked there. I'm sorry. I'll take that one back. I get it. Some kids don't have adults they can talk to. Go to the counselor's office. And everyone's like, I get it. Keep it to yourself. Talk to strangers on the internet then.
Yes, that's a good one.
There we go. I'm sorry. Counselor, teacher, parents, bad idea. Strangers on the internet. If you are under the age of 18, strangers on the internet are the way to go.
Yeah.
If you have dark, deep secrets that no one can know, strangers on the internet are perfect for that because they don't know where you live. And don't tell them either. That's when you break the rules. And they start asking for money.
Get a VPN.
NordVPN.
Which is actually...
speaking of NordVPN.
Dumb.
Strangers on the internet. Strangers on the internet helped me get through high school and middle school.
Some of my childhood best friends I've
Never
just
been in real life.
Xbox Live people.
Greatest people ever.
Yeah.
Because you can't see them.
Yeah.
It's just something about... I'm talking to you through a microphone. We're having fun playing video games. It's only good stuff. You don't have, you have some childhood friends that you just remember that one time when they did that fucked up thing. Maybe they like tried to hit on your girlfriend or something like that. You know what I mean?
Or they like took their shoes off and their socks were just like a little bit yellow. And you were like,
you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
They were like, they snored at a sleepover. Woo! Woo! You're out. You snore at the sleepover. You are out. We never turned this light off.
Yeah, I noticed.
It's not a problem.
No,
these lights are
fine.
way more powerful. Oh my God! If you snore at the sleepover, oh my God, your life is fucking
It's a
over
lot
with.
worse. We had kids jerking off at sleepovers.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Did this happen a lot?
At least twice. Yeah.
Did you flame
big
them?
groups? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you catch them? Were they like doing it in the sleeping bag?
No, it was like
They went to the bathroom.
No, it was just like the one that I really remember, the dude was just like, we had like a really big futon thing that most of the kids would sleep on, and he was like leaning on it with a blanket over him and was just jerking off. Everybody was awake
And knew what was going on.
Mm-hmm. We were like probably 11.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, 5th grade.
And you guys got him?
Well, we were like, what the fuck are you doing? And he was like,
I don't know.
I'm jerking off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he didn't hide it.
Wow. Is he doing well now?
Yeah. Yes. He's doing real well. Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah.
Money?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Family, rich as fuck. Yeah. You probably know him. I'll tell you after the show.
Please. Real well.
Yeah.
Real well?
Yeah.
Like fantastic well?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Family like owns an estate type shit.
That's great. A stunning estate?
It's all right. Fat ass yard. I went there not too long ago.
Huh. So you're telling me
I'm still friends with him.
So you're telling me if you jerk off at the summer party, interesting, your life can still go well, but snoring at the summer party
will get you removed from the friend group. Yeah.
Damn. Because you can always stop jerking off. You can't stop snoring. It's a fair point. Thank you.
Did you ever get a dick drawn on you or anything?
No, I wasn't in that. My friends were weird. I had weird friends. I was a weird kid growing up. You know, I smelled. Not gonna lie. I looked like Oliver Tree, but it wasn't ironic. That was the problem. I didn't wear the glasses either. I had a really big bowl cut. I had a haircut. My hair was really poofy. That's why I grew it out. My hair looks the best growing out. Short hair looks dumb. Medium hair is not good. No, I mean, what? We just we played video games, sleepovers. You know what I mean? Everyone made fun of me because they all thought I was poor, and I was. They were like, "You're poor." I'm like, "Yeah." I would like beat them at a video game. They're like, "Shut up, you're poor." I'm like, "Okay." Then one kid like joined our group who was poorer than us. I was like, finally, I'm out of the cage.
That's fun. Would we have been friends?
Me and you?
Yeah.
You were a nerd. So
yeah, but I was also like...
Yeah, you went to a different school. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we probably would have been. We probably would have been friends. Probably not at the same time, though. I don't know. That's the thing about growing up. in a weird situation, and when you're younger, you don't know how to talk about anything real yet, and your friends don't really know either. When you're in elementary school, middle school, no one gets how they're. I was thinking about that when I was at the little thing of. I'm looking at all these fifth graders. I'm thinking, wow, some of you are going through some really adult things right now, and some of you are are having the time of your life. You have no idea. Some of you have no idea that the person left to you is their family's on the brink. I'm not even trying to be funny. It's a little funny, but like,
It is.
I was one of those kids.
Right.
I was one of those kids where like they're like you're weird. I'm like, my dad's mean. They'd be like, you're poor. I'm like, you know what I mean though? Like, I just like know like there's some kids in middle school who are going through really adult things that their parents have no clue about. That's weird.
Right.
That's strange. And that makes you sad because you just wonder, you're like, fuck, man, middle school, you're so little. You're so tiny. How are you going through things? Like people who are having sex in middle school.
I felt so grown in middle school, by the way. We had a girl get pregnant in 6th grade.
That is so
that's not true. That's not true. They fucked in 6th grade. She was pregnant in 8th grade.
It's not okay. It's so not okay. I hate everything about what you just said. You should not do anything sexual in middle school. Your brain is not ready for it. Can you stop? No,
okay.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
No. Okay, go. You have the floor.
Okay. 6th grade was the last time that I dated a woman purely because I liked her as a person.
Wow.
It was.
You would just admitted that.
Well, it's like every time after. I'm saying. That probably came.
That
off
sounded
really weird.
so bad.
Yeah, but I mean, like every time after that, I was like, oh, like she
is
hot. Yeah. Like
okay.
She has a fat ass or whatever the fuck. Like, and 6th grade was the last. So.
Were you fucking in middle school?
No, but I was doing pretty much everything else.
I didn't do anything sexual until I was 17. I'm okay to him. 16. I'm okay
that
to
sounds
admit
right.
them.
No, that's fine. Yeah,
I
I lost
didn't
my
care
virginity
to.
when I was 16.
I didn't care to though.
Yeah.
People bored the fuck out of me. Dude, girls? I was like, no. Not even like because not like girls are boring. I was just like, I barely had fun with my guy friends, let alone being like, I want to be in a relationship.
Wait a minute, I don't play video games.
I was just like, this is bullshit. Every life is bullshit. I had a girlfriend in 8th grade though. I broke up with her. I didn't date anyone my freshman year. Going into sophomore year, I was dating like a senior. My freshman year of summer. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, was she like?
Did you think she was ugly?
No, I'm just asking.
No.
Like, what was the situation? Because I feel like
Is this a bad?
that's not common. I just want to know.
I was like, I met her at like a bonfire that had all these older kids from the high school I went to, and me and her just like kind of hit it off, and I asked for her number, and she was like, sure, and we just hit it off, and then just started dating. And I broke up with her that summer because I was like, I'm bored. I don't want to do this. That's literally what I said.
I have a lot of questions that we'll talk about that later.
Why don't you ask me now? Do you think it was a weird situation? Is that what you're asking?
No,
was
it's
she a
not
junior
weird.
or senior? She was older. It doesn't matter.
If she's a junior, that's like kind of fine. But like, it's like weird when a senior dates a freshman. Like if you
I was going to be a sophomore. She was going into senior year. I was going into sophomore year.
Okay, that's not weird. You made it sound like a.
Well, I said freshman summer, so it would have been for
all right,
both.
Yeah. Sorry, I only listen to like 70% of the things you say.
Yeah, I understand that. So no, I don't think it's weird. It was fine. She was fine. She was fine. Boring. I was just like, what is like? You start listening to people more, and you're just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Hate that. That's why I became more stringent on who. I really didn't. That's a lie. I dated someone for 5 years, 4.5, almost 5. I just didn't. I never cared. I was never into. I'm still barely into it. I'm dating someone now. I'm like, I really love the relationship I'm in now, because it's just like, they.
Jesus Christ!
Did you hear that? What
Yeah.
Was that like a cough? Sound like a dragon.
Yeah.
Sound like a monster out there.
What the fuck?
Was that like a burp?
It sounded like a fart to me. Like a.
What are we at for time?
We're at 57.
We should end this.
We probably should. I kind of like the you talk and then we just kind of riff off each other towards the end.
Kind
of works.
I just want to know. I don't know. I'm really uncomfortable when it comes to sex. Can I say that?
Yeah. Yeah. You might want to elaborate on it a little bit.
It's just weird to me.
Sex is weird.
Yeah. It's always been weird.
I mean, if you think about it, like, very logically, it is weird to, like, put a part of your body into someone else.
Not even logically. I'm like, I think I have a low libido. I think that's what it is. Like, naturally, I've always had a low libido. And I don't really care about doing things unless the other person wants to do things.
Got to get in the gym.
I think you're right. I need to get those numbers up. My
Sigma
T levels,
time.
bro. My T levels are dipping.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need some male emancipation.
You know what? This is the longest I've gone without jerking off in probably years.
What were you at? 20? What are you at? 18 hours?
I'm at this morning was like 48.
Fucking 2 days. What do you want, a medal? Jesus Christ.
New year, new me.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, here I want to end this before my resolutions this year. I want to hit 100,000 on TikTok. We're a quarter of the way. I want to have 1,000 monthly listeners. We're 0 of the way. I want to do more TikTok. I'm going to get better at TikTok. I want to figure out TikTok.
Me too.
I want to go work out. I want to lose some weight. I've been gaining weight really fast. I'm at 185, dude.
Damn.
I'm turning into a fat fuck.
Yeah, you got to start coming with me.
I'm 6'4", though, so like,
yeah, it's
actually nothing.
You could weigh like 220 and it would like
be fine and filled out.
Yeah, yeah.
People are like, your legs look normal.
Right.
How come your arms aren't like twigs anymore? What happened? I mean, look at this. I mean, this is like weird. My arms
you look fine.
They're long though.
You're skinny. I mean, you look fine.
Well, that wraps it up for episode 1. I don't care that it wasn't that good. It doesn't really bother me. This one's coming out on Friday because I'm done. We've done 5 episodes. The last one was good, but the recording was messed up. This one's good. It'll be better next week. It comes out every Friday. I don't care what you think. Goodbye, everyone. I love you. Say bye, Davey.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.